Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Observer Podcast. I'm Ariana Allen, and I'm your host, and I'm joined with Noelle and Curtis. And today we are talking about sports and everything related within the sports industry. It's a busy time. Seasons are starting, and we're going to kick it right off to Noelle. And Noelle, tell me a little bit about the Redskins organization and what's going on within that organization right now.
Hello, and thank you, Ariana. And I'm here to talk to you guys about the whole Washington Redskins issue going on right now. And as we know, the Washington Redskins, they've had a huge issue with their names. They just released a statement about less than a week ago saying that they're going to retire the logo. They're going to retire the franchise name Redskin. And so right now, they're trying to find new names, new logos, all that. But as we all know, Redskin is a slur used for Native American skin color, and many states have actually banned that term. And we've seen this affect their sales, their ticket prices. You know, since 2014, their ticket prices have decreased, and brands like Nike, Walmart, and Target, they're all taking their merchandise out of the stores. And so, since the owner that they have right now is Daniel Snyder, and he's been the owner since 1991, and he has refused to change the name since then. But I guess now in a time like this, he's come to the realization where it's time to change the name.
Well, that's definitely a step in the right direction of change and perpetual change. It'll be interesting to see how organizations like the Cleveland Indians or even the Atlanta Braves decide to move forward with that, as well as there's conversation about them as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. I'm very intrigued to see like all these other sports with these names and see what they do. And so I see also that college football is having some issues too. So if you want to talk a little bit about that with the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, so college football right now is in a state of limbo. They don't really know what's going to happen in the fall with the fall college football starting up. There's talk about college football maybe going into the spring, but there also within the past couple of days have been decisions from the Pac-12 and the Big Ten conference to have only conference games. And that means that they would not play any non-conference games. And that's important because usually the majority of the schools play their non-conference schedules in September. So that buys them a little more time to have maybe more leniency when it comes to COVID-19 restrictions and precautions. And it gives them that time to really talk and discuss what the fall football season would look like. It's also important to realize, though, that the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 12 conference have not made a decision yet. So we're still waiting to see what they do. And we're also waiting to see, is football going to be played in the fall at all, or is it going to be moved to the spring? Or is it going to be played, period? And if it's not played, then that will be a huge blow to athletic departments everywhere, because football is the engine that drives the athletic department. It's a huge revenue. It's a huge aspect for schools everywhere. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it plays out and how the precautions are taken to have a safe season ultimately.
That's super interesting. Have you seen like any actual athletic departments make any indefinite decisions or suspensions?
Yeah, so the Ivy League schools have actually decided to not have any fall sports, not just football, but fall sports, period. And so that is to adhere to the precautions that they have on their campuses for COVID-19. And I've also seen some athletic departments like Stanford cut 11 of their programs. I believe they have 37 programs, and they have cut 11 due to funding and the funding restrictions of COVID-19.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so now we're going to pass it off to Curtis, who's going to be talking about the NBA bubble. And this is the hot topic. The NBA season is starting at the end of July, and I know I'm excited. So tell me a little bit about what's going on within the bubble, since no one can actually be there. Tell us what you know.
So all my NBA fans out there, the NBA is coming back finally. Players and teams are now moving into the bubble. A couple weeks ago, you see player teams like all the teams from the first seed to the 10th seed in the Western Conference, and from the first seed and the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference. So in this bubble, right, is located in Orlando. They have placed a lot of restrictions. So like they have placed in a hotline for players, an anonymous hotline for players. If they see players failing to meet the standards and the rule that's placed in the bubble, they can call this hotline and kind of tell on other teammates or coaches who are not following those things. Inside the bubble, there have been a lot of complaints regarding food. Like I seen J.R. Smith, Joel Embiid had posted foods on Twitter and Snapchat and complaining how the food is not well up to the standards as they're used to when they were outside the bubble. How players our players are spending their time, their extra time. I've seen like Kyle Kuzma and JaVale McGee. They are in the water slides and the water parks having fun. I seen Joel Embiid bring his PS4 and his Xbox, play games. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Madden tournaments or NBA 2K tournaments that's happening in the bubbles in the hotels. My championship thoughts. I mean, a lot of teams, players are getting tested positive for coronavirus. You have players like Harrison Barnes, Russell Westbrook, who is not in the bubble currently, have tested positive, and as soon as he get better and pass the test, he'll enter the bubble again. Other players like Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, who was tested positive before they entered the bubble, have now passed the test and able to join the teams. So during this bubble is all about following the rules and keeping safe and following necessary guidelines to move forward in the season and playoffs. So one day we can find a championship.
Well, that's so exciting that the NBA season is now going to be starting, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how all the precautions play out and how players adhere to the precautions or how they don't. But it's definitely an exciting time, and I know I'm excited to see the Heat play. I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the playoffs. And so, guys, that concludes our podcast for today. Thank you for joining in. Don't forget to follow us on social media and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. We hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, stay on the lookout for the NBA season, and go Heat. Have a great day, everyone.